Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Eric and I like to read, and today I'm going to be doing my April wrap up. So, I managed to read quite a bit of books in April. However, I did not fully complete my TBR because there is one book that just kept putting me in a reading slump every time I picked it up. And so I still have the bookmark sitting in it. The book is not finished yet. I'm going to try and read a chapter a day just so I can finish this book, but it's slow going. It's really slow going. But let's talk about all the books I read. So there's a mixture of arcs and just regular books in this collection, as you guys would know if you saw my April TBR. So I'll get started with Sunkissed by Casey West. I thought this book was freaking adorable. I gave this book 5 out of 5 stars. It was so cute. I really liked it because it's about a girl who she just breaks up with her boyfriend and then goes on a family vacation because it's the summer. So their family is staying at this like campsite resort and they're there for a period of 2 months. So she's gone for a long time and she has no connections with like her friends back home. She's just doing her own thing with her family this summer. I really liked this book because it really plays on like family bonds. Her and her sister have a really strong bond that gets even stronger as they go through this summer together. She also meets a boy at this camp, and some sort of relationship between the two ensues. This isn't a spoiler, like, this is literally in the synopsis of the book. So, yeah. And it was really fun to, like, see how that played out. There's musical elements to this book. I just had a really good time with, like, the atmospheric part of it because like it felt like I was going to camp while reading this book too, and I really like camp or anything to do with camp. So I just had a really fun time with it. I thought that the relationships and the interactions were very realistic of teenagers. I also read this book a lot outside on my deck when it was really sunny out, so like I kind of felt the vibes of the book while reading the book, if that makes sense. And it was a really fun time. I had never read any other Casey West books before, but I definitely would pick up more of her books because I just had a really good time with this one. It honestly just felt like a warm hug. Like it was a nice, cuddly, fun read that was great for the outdoors. And it was a super fast read. Like I read it in, I think, 2 days, which is fast for me. So yeah, that was a good one. Then I will move on to The Cousins by Karen M. McManus. I ended up giving this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed this book. I thought it was a decent thriller. I also buddy read this with Hillary from Melted Books and Kira from the Book Bella. We all kind of had like similar ratings ranging from 3 to 4, but yeah, like I thought it was a lot of fun. Essentially, the synopsis of this one is like three cousins are called on by their grandma to come stay and work at her like resort that she has on an island, and their parents were kind of like estranged from the mother because she kind of like cut everybody off and cut all ties from the rest of her family. But now she's like wanting the cousins to come in and come back into the fold, I guess. So naturally the parents are like, yeah, go, we want you to get in there because like inheritance and stuff, so we want that. And so like there was, I would say it was much more of like a mystery than a thriller. I wasn't really thrilled at any parts, and nothing was really like scary or creepy, but I did really enjoy the mystery aspect of it. And I will say that I did guess the ending, so it wasn't like a big plot twist to me. That being said, I think it was still a satisfying ending. It was a little quick, but it worked out the way I would have expected it to, and that's fine. I actually feel good when I can guess like the ending of a mystery or thriller. I don't know, it just makes me feel really smart, even though it wasn't a really hard thing to figure out, but I don't know. It's fun for me. And yeah, I definitely think I liked one of the cousins more than the other two, but it was really fun because the book was split between different perspectives for chapters, so you got to like be in the mind of each cousin as they were like trying to figure out why their grandma brought them to this island resort and like what she wants with them. So yeah, it was really cool. I really enjoyed Karen M. McManus's writing style, and I definitely will be reading more of her books. I have two of them on the shelf. One of them is One of Us is Lying, and I think the other one is Two Can Keep a Secret. So I'm definitely going to read those books eventually because, yeah, I thought it was really fun, and I enjoyed like puzzling along as I read this book. Then next up, we have another 5-star read, and that was Check Please. This graphic novel was just so cute. Eric Biddle, aka Biddy, is like the biggest cinnamon roll ever. I thought his character was so adorable, and it just gave me like all the feels. Like, this is the Canadian version of like Heartstopper, I would say. It was just so cute. And it centered a lot on hockey, as you can see. Oh yeah, I guess I should tell you guys what the book is about. So essentially Eric Biddle is going to college for the first time, and he joins the hockey team. Now, prior to joining the hockey team, he was primarily a figure skater, and so he definitely has like the skills on the ice to maneuver around. And now he's joining hockey to try and do that and see how it goes. He's also a very avid baker. As you can see, he's holding a pie. And I thought that was really fun because he's like constantly baking throughout the whole book and like making treats for his hockey team. And it was just so cute. Like, yeah, he was just an adorable character. I really liked it. There was a lot of great LGBTQ plus rep in this book. And I'm really looking forward to the second one because in this book, you follow his first and second year of college. So I'm guessing the next book is going to be like his last 2 years of college or university, college, one of the two. But yeah, like I don't want this to stop. Just like I loved Heartstopper so much, like I want more of this. So I hope there's more after volume 2 or I'm going to riot. But if you do want a really quick read with a cinnamon roll main character, this is the book for you. This was also gifted to me by Marcus, so thank you, Marcus, for getting me such a nice graphic novel. Next up, I have The Great Godin by Meg Rosoff. I was given this book by Penguin Random House as a finished copy to be part of a Bookstagram tour, and I guess also a blogging tour, yeah. And this book was okay. I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was very neutral ground for me. It's the story of a family that is going to their summer vacation home to spend the summer there, and it's just like, it's fiction, so it's just nothing like magical or anything like that is happening. It's just like literally a family hanging out at their summer home and navigating like different relationships that they are making over the summer. This book follows the main character. You don't actually know what the gender is of the main character because they never actually reveal it. The whole story is told from their point of view, but you don't even know their name. And so it's kind of interesting because the entire book, you're kind of puzzling through trying to figure out like what the gender is of the main character and how that will affect other things that are happening in the storyline. And it also like ties in with the ending a little bit, so you're just kind of like puzzling over it the whole time. There were some things that I was not like particularly fond of in this book, and there were other things that I found really interesting. I don't really have too much to say about it because it was a really short book. Yeah, it's less than 200 pages, so it's not long. And I don't know, like not a lot happened, but then at the same time, like a lot did happen. It was interesting because 2 brothers were introduced as people that were visiting over the summer, and these 2 brothers kind of got into different relationships with this family, and just like how this family interacted with these 2 brothers, or I guess new characters in their like summer routine. I don't know. I felt very like middle about this book, and that was it. Then I read Tell Me When You Feel Something by Vicky Grant, and this was sent to me by Penguin Teen as an ARC version. So this book is coming out on June 15th, and the way I kind of like described this book was like a Grey's Anatomy but thriller. It's about this girl who mysteriously goes into a coma after being a part of this like simulated patient program for studying doctors and nurses to like practice on people that are obviously like simulating being a patient. And so the book is kind of like piecing together from a whole bunch of different perspectives how this girl ended up in a coma and like what happened prior to those events. I found this book so intriguing. I really like when any book is told in multiple perspectives because I like being the one that's trying to piece things together from all the different points of view. But I thought this book was really good. It definitely gets dark at parts, and I kind of did figure out what was going on about 2/3 the way through. The whole time I'm like fighting with myself because I'm like, oh, I know that this is going to happen to this person. I know where this is going, and I just like, I want to help these characters, but I can't because I'm not in this book. But at the same time, like I thought that was really fun and I enjoyed that that's how I felt about this book. I think the last like half of this book I read in 2 hours. I just hunkered down and powered through it because I was so pulled in and I just needed to know what happened. But I thought this was a really good book. I think you guys will love this book when it comes out. You should definitely check it out. It was a great time. Now, the book that has been almost putting me in a slump all month is Manahorns Key. And this was the blog book that I pulled from my TBR jar. So as you can see, I'm about halfway through. It's very slow going. The reason this book is potentially like putting me in a slump is because it's like a fantasy world, but I'm halfway through. I still don't know who the main character is this book because it keeps throwing so many characters at you, and they're like they have the weirdest names with all these vowels in them, so it's like really hard to pronounce anything. I still don't even really have like a solid understanding of this magical world that is at the same time like parallel with real world. I don't know. I'm having a really hard time grasping anything that's happening in this book. And I think that that's why I'm falling into a slump. Like, if I had to rate it right now, I would probably like put it at a 2 star just because like I have to give it the benefit of the doubt. Like, I haven't finished it, so I couldn't give it like a full rating or anything. But like, that's like where it's kind of sitting right now just because of all of these random characters that are being thrown at you. Also, there's like barely any backstory, so you don't really know why any of these events are happening that are happening. It's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a colossal information dump without any explanation. And it also just bothers me that I still don't know who the main character is and I'm halfway through this friggin' book. Like, who's the main character? What's the point? What's happening? I don't know. So anyways, I'm going to continue reading this book 1 chapter a day. Hopefully I will finish it and then I can maybe tell you guys who the main character was by then, or tell you like what the synopsis was, because at this point I don't even know. I don't. But yeah, I'm going to keep trying to work through this one. And then the last book that I read in the month of April was Witches Steeped in Gold. This was an arc given to me by HarperCollins. This book actually just came out on April 20th, so you guys should go pick it up. I ended up giving this book a 3.5 stars. I thought it was very interesting. So essentially this book is about two witches that are rivals, but they have to come together to work together towards a united goal that they have. I can't really say more than that because like that kind of goes into spoiler territory, so I'm not going to. But I will say it was well done. Like, the fantasy aspect of this world that they created was well done. I really enjoyed getting to learn about these witches' culture and their different magic systems that they put into this. Like, there was more than one magic system. One magic system worked with like ancestry. So as you like reached a certain age, your ancestors' magic would pass through down the line to you. And then the other magic system, they needed to use like conduits to use that magic, and so those conduits were gold items or gold trinkets. That's like what they powered the magic through. And so I thought that was really interesting. There's also a lot of like really cool creatures in this book, and there's pirates in it. So if you like pirates, this is definitely a book you will enjoy because they play a pretty large part in this book. I would say the best part about this book is definitely the political intrigue. Like, there are so many underlying things going on in the background that you're like wanting to keep track of as it goes along because they definitely tie together near the end. If I could think of like political intrigue that it's like, I would say it's kind of like Game of Thrones in that sense of political intrigue. I'm not like the best at political intrigue, don't get me wrong. Like, I haven't read that many books with political intrigue, but I thought this one did do it really well. And yeah, like, definitely your feelings on different characters will change as the book goes on. I liked one character more than the other, but by the end, like, I really liked the other character more than the other. So it kept getting amplified based on how different actions happen in the book. But yeah. And there are also definitely some morally gray characters in here, and we all know that I like morally gray characters, so like, I was here for it. But yeah, those are all the books that I ended up reading in April. I'm really excited to jump into my May TBR because we're doing May the Force Read With You readathon right now. And I have a lot of good books on that TBR that I'm super pumped about. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But anyways, let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these books that I read during the month of April. I would love to hear your thoughts on them because some of them, like, I really want to talk to other people about. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of those, and let me know what books you're excited to read in the upcoming month of May. Also, if you haven't seen my last video where I did sci-fi recs with a bunch of other booktubers, there is currently a giveaway going on during that video. It's at the very end of that video, and the winner is going to get 6 books. So definitely go check that out if you haven't yet, because that is a prize that you do not want to miss. And now for today's independent bookstore shoutout. Okay, so today's independent bookstore shoutout is for Kennedy's Parable, which is in Kelowna, British Columbia. This is a Christian bookstore, and on their website they have a whole bunch of stuff. So they have like other items other than just books, like mugs, picture frames, hats. They even have willow tree angels, and my mom is obsessed with these angels. She has a whole collection. So yeah, you can definitely check those out. But of course, they also have books. So if you go to the browse section, you will see that they have all the books you can go through, and they have a huge catalog on their bookstore. So definitely go check it out. They also have Parable partners. So if your church signs up, you can get discounts from this bookstore. So that's something else to look into if you want. One way we can definitely support these bookstores is by buying gift cards during the pandemic. That definitely helps out a lot, so that when you are not able to go in store, you can shop online and use those gift cards. So maybe get a gift card for a friend or family member. But yeah, all you have to do is go to Kennedy's Parable. So that's onlinestore.kennedysparable.com. If you guys want to support me, I have a Patreon and a Coffee page, which I'll put in the description down below, as well as a link to buy my bookmarks. You guys know the drill. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification button so you get notified when I post new videos. I post my videos on Mondays and Thursdays. And until next time, keep on reading.